Like most of the world, I was not ready for Michaela Cole. My introduction to her was via Chewing Gum, her irreverent, smart, and funny series that was unlike anything I'd seen before. I had wanted more of her wit, her talent, that brilliant mind. But we would have to wait some time to meet her again. And now we know why. I've often said that trauma halts possibility. It serves to impede, to block, and to halt forward movement in one's own life. I May Destroy You tells the story of a survivor who finds herself impeded by the kind of insidious sexual assault that is endemic in our communities. It is so routine that survivors often don't need any help minimizing what's happened to us. We try to make space for everyone else, our friends and their discomfort, our families and their shame, the inner critic inside of us, louder than any slur anyone could hurl our way. This minimization is training for another kind of war, the one where no one cares what happened to you then or what happens to you now. It's no surprise then that we often have no idea what healing looks like, what reckoning actually means. We don't want to deal with the messy bits. We only want to tell tidy stories of improbable triumph. In doing so, we reduce the likelihood that anyone could possibly see themselves, their own journeys and struggles reflected in the tales we tell each other about how to make it through. I May Destroy You landed like the uncomfortable truth that it is. Because it was born out of Michaela's own truth, it is, in and of itself, an exorcism of the demons that were never hers to carry. And in doing so, she has given us an important and new way of looking at healing, of seeing ourselves. Trauma halts possibility, but it is movement that activate it. Michaela's work is an offering that has allowed countless people to speak openly about sexual assault, autonomy, freedom, allyship, and ourselves. To confront our contradictions with honesty and conviction. I May Destroy You initially seems like a threat, a warning, but it is only when you realize that it is an invitation to create something new, if we are willing, that you see the fullness of Michaela's intervention. As many Black women know, we often have the unenviable task of becoming the very women that we needed at one time or another. And when we invite that kind of transformative calling into our lives, we find that it was ourselves we were freeing all along. To the world, Michaela Cole is an amazing actress, but to me, she is also a necessary voice. Now, let's take a look at why this millennial icon is so deserving of this prestigious Black Woman in Hollywood award.
I first became aware of Michaela. We both auditioned for and ended up going to Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London.
Michaela Cole first came on my radar when she used to do spoken word.
Watch my new life as his soul transcends. See this rebirth as his light descends. Renewed and newborn, I am born again. Amen. Praise God.
I first heard about Michaela in the Chewing Gum days.
I saw that and I was immediately obsessed with her, who is this such a funny person, but also just so much immediate depth that was so obvious and so singular.
Chewing Gum originally came from a very short solo piece.
And the BAFTA goes to Michaela Cole.
And then it became this like huge, BAFTA nominated, BAFTA winning kind of like juggernaut of a thing.
If there's anyone out there that looks a bit like me or just feels a little bit out of place trying to get into performing and all this kind of stuff, I'd just say, you are beautiful, embrace it. You are intelligent, embrace it. You are powerful, embrace it. Thank you.
I got to meet her, finally, when we worked together on Black Earth Rising. An extraordinary piece of TV. She is an actress. And I do believe this thing. Those who can do comedy can do tragedy. It's not necessarily easier the other way around.
Michaela's character, Arabella, in I May Destroy You, is a young Black woman figuring her way out in the world. She's a writer. She's on the cusp of finishing a second book, trying to get her life together. And in the midst of this whole thing, she experiences sexual assault and she experiences trauma.
I May Destroy You resonated with people because it was honest.
It's a radical act of personal revelation and healing. The way she deals with trauma is just a thing of beauty because it's so triumphant.
It's really hard to make something like that and to make it like extremely watchable and not just therapy is incredible.
Michaela's future will be dictated by her. It won't be dictated by anybody else. I think she just wants to have space and time to continue like developing her craft and sharing her encyclopedic library of thoughts.
And I think we're all going to be delighted to get to see it.
Massive congratulations, my friend Michaela Cole, on your Essence Black Women in Hollywood Award.
I love you, Michaela. Congratulations. Congratulations on everything.
Hopefully I'll see you soon after this whole COVID thing. I'm in London right now, so you gotta hit me up.
So thank you for everything you've done for me and sharing everything you have with the world.
This is Essence. This is fantastic. These women hold you up and say, keep going, fly on, fly on, fly on. I love you.
So, on behalf of anyone who has walked through the fire, for those who are still finding their way, but especially for those who couldn't, we thank you for stepping into the light for us, Michaela. It is my honor to present you with the Black Women in Hollywood Award.
Thank you so much, Essence, for this moment, to be honored and celebrated as a Black woman in Hollywood. The thing I have yet to reveal to Essence is that the time I spent in Hollywood itself amounts to 12 days over the course of my life. Sorry. So it seems fitting that I take this opportunity to talk about those 12 days and the Black women who gave those days meaning. The first was a 4-day trip. I had arrived to the Hollywood section of the Americas with severe jet lag and high hope to make a TV show. Chewing Gum Season 1 had just aired, and its small but strong success got me a seat at the table with executive producers from an American network to pitch a show. I had no pilot, no treatment, no document at all. I only had a piece of information. A few months beforehand, my drink was spiked and I had been sexually assaulted by strangers. And at that table, I told the exec producers that I wanted to make a comedy type thing about it. I knew, despite being unaware of my own shock and denial, that I would have to write about it in order to avoid dying from it. When I look back on that meeting, I think the executives deemed me unstable. Maybe the frantic, terrified eyes. Maybe because I had no treatment or pilot. Maybe they came to know that shortly after the meeting, I was found sleeping behind a truck on the premises. The jet lag was just too much and it was so hot. So I crouched down and slept on the ground. I don't know if I would make a show with me. To the sister who woke me up and got me a bottle of water, thank you. The second was a 4-day trip in 2017. I had a photo shoot. It was the first time both my hair and makeup had been done by Black women on a shoot, and I looked amazing. Navasha Johnson gave me the lace wig, and Tasha Brown told me that the orange blusher in the NARS palette was the only way to be free. By this time, I had struck up an Instagram friendship with Issa Rae. I had told her I was coming to the Americas and asked her to go on a date with me to Soul Aquarius Music Festival. She agreed, assuming I was sane. I tried to lay that wig again for the festival, and it looked as awesome as Arabella's looks in I May Destroy You. I was so excited to be alive, to be there, to be with Issa, and the gin I was consuming was just a way of allowing any nervousness that came with that excitement to subside.
Cynthia Erivo, a trusted friend and most seasoned expert to Hollywood, was trying to advise me how to act right, but I had no time for that. Then I lost concept of time altogether. I don't recall who I bought the weed muffin from. Neither do I recall things like music or performances at the festival. I only remember meeting Willow Smith, thinking, wow, she's so welcoming and nice, and why is the guitar on her back able to wave hello and smile at me? Issa, I suspect being around me might have been quite a traumatic experience. Thank you for still replying to my texts, because I don't know if I would. The third was a 2-day trip in 2018. I had now gotten through 5 or so drafts of the show we would come to know as I May Destroy You, and was eager to partner with people of Hollywood to make this show happen. I spent 2 euphoric days pitching the show to studio after studio and walking on a beach, because there's a beach near where people make TV in Hollywood, which is absolutely insane. My last meeting was with HBO and it was going really well. The exec producer asked me if I remembered her. I suddenly realized I had been here 2 years before with frantic, terrified eyes, where I was woken up, given water. I suddenly realized how much I had grown. The final trip was also in 2018. By now, my work in Chewing Gum, Black Mirror, and Black Earth Rising had allowed me access into a circle of Black women in Hollywood, none of whom were aware I was both unhinged and obsessed with them. I was doing small DMs with Lena Waithe, Bobby Humphrey, Zendaya, Gabrielle Union, Ari Lennox, Jada Pinkett. One day, Janelle Monáe DM'd me to say she'd planned a small friends-only private screening of Dirty Computer. It was that night and I was welcome to swing by. I decided not to tell her that I'd been to every single music concert of hers in England, that I'd had numerous dreams about meeting her, that I had to unfollow her on Facebook back in the day because I was beginning to dress and sing like her and I was losing my sense of self to her magic. I decided not to tell her that I wasn't actually in Hollywood, so I couldn't swing by. I instead found a flight, booked a one-way ticket, and went straight from the airport to the movie theater. I met Lena Waithe, and we hugged as if we'd hugged 100 times before. I met Kelly Rowland, who knew my name and where in Africa I was from. That was so bizarre, I began to catch migraine. Then I finally met Janelle Monáe, and well, she was like water. She flowed to everyone in the room without having to do anything. She was everything. When she came to know of the circumstances by which I came, she insisted I spent the night in the house she was currently residing in with her entire Wonderland Music family. There was enough room for me. This is where my mind goes when I think of this honor essence. It goes to the Black women who breathed life into those 12 days. I am a visitor, with no firm idea of when or how or where I'm going, that I'm just eager to be here, and I'm grateful for the invitation to sit down at your table, that I have been given room here, given water, warm welcomes, cuddles, loving emojis. There is only one thing to do with this honor. It is to honor you. Thank you.